This is Golf 4, November Romeo Charlie, operated today by Greg, Golf 0 Delta Uniform Bravo, serving as net control for the RAYNET-UK weekly activity net. This net meets each Sunday afternoon at 1600 hours local time and is open to all amateur radio operators interested in emergency communications. The primary purpose of the net is to provide the opportunity for members to test equipment, exchange traffic, news, opinions and information, and additional information and announcements are available on the RAYNET-UK website at www.raynet-uk.net. This is a directed net, which means all calls have to be made to the net control station unless you are instructed otherwise, and all RAYNET-UK operators are invited and encouraged to check into the net. When you do check in, please announce your call sign slowly and phonetically, followed by your name, and if you wish to leave the net immediately after checking in, then please call in and out. Otherwise, if you want to leave after subsequent turns, please make it clear you want to check out at that time. After I've heard a few check-ins, I'll pause and repeat who I've heard. If you're not acknowledged, then please do try again, and if you miss your turn to call in, I will call from these strays at the end of the UK and international sections. So I'll now begin taking check-ins to the RAYNET weekly activity net as usual in call sign number order. So any stations with figure 8 and their call sign wishing to check in, please call now. This is G4NRC.
Golf 8 Echo Yankee G8 EEY. Good afternoon, Greg. You sound a bit husky. Name here is Mike. G. Pheonix DMR. Name is Bob. Good afternoon, Greg. From a very sunny Norfolk this afternoon. Just in and out, please. Thank you.
This is G4NRC, so I've got Golf 8 Echo Yankee. Good afternoon, Mike. And Bob, Golf 8 Sierra Delta Uniform, copy to you in and out, so good afternoon to you. Any other 8s, please, G4NRC, over. Wasn't an 8, so we'll try them later. 7s, please, stations figure 7 in their call sign, please go ahead, over.
Golf 7 November Echo Hotel G798. Good afternoon, Greg.
Mike 7 Alphabet. Good afternoon, Greg. In and out, please, today. G4NRC, I've got Mark, Mike 7 Lima Papa November, and Dave, Mike 7 Alpha Victor Oscar. Both in and out. Any other 7s, please, G4NRC, over.
G798, Golf 7 November Echo Hotel. Good afternoon, Greg.
G4NRC, good afternoon, Graham, G7NEH. Okay, let's go for 6s, stations figure 6 in their call sign, please go ahead, over.
Good afternoon, this is Golf 6, Papa Delta Echo. Chris, in and out, please, Greg.
Golf 6, Papa Delta Echo. Good afternoon, Chris. Copy to you in and out. Any other 6s, please, G4NRC, over. G4NRC, then let's have 5 stations figure 5 in their call sign, please go ahead, over. G4NRC, we still don't have enough 5s to cause a pile-up, so let's go straight to 4s. Stations figure 4 in their call sign, please go ahead, over.
G4NRC, G4KUJ, Kilo Uniform Juliet, Trevor in Watford.
G4XUR, Golf 4 X-Ray Uniform Romeo. The name's David in Somerset. In and out today, please, Greg.
G4NRC, good afternoon, Trevor. G4KUJ, staying with me. David, Golf 4 X-Ray Uniform Romeo, acknowledged as in and out. Any of the 4s, please. G4NRC, over.
Golf 4 Kilo India Lima, Philip, South Sussex, over.
For Kilo India Lima, good afternoon, Philip, and you're in the lock. Okay, let's have 3s. Stations figure 3 in that call sign, please go ahead, over.
Golf 3 Zulu Hotel X-Ray, Ian.
G4NRC, good afternoon, Ian. Golf 3 Zulu Hotel X-Ray. Any of the 3s, please, over. G4NRC, and over the 3s, let's have 2s. Stations figure 2 in their call sign, including you intermediate 2s. Please call now, over.
2 Echo 0, Charlie Mike Sierra, calling from Midway.
Echo 0, Charlie Mike Sierra, good afternoon, Colin. Any other 2s, please? G4NRC, over. G4NRC, nothing heard. Let's have 1s. Stations figure 1 in their call sign, please go ahead, over. Second call, any stations figure 1 in that call sign, please go ahead, over. Heard, so it's Mike 0 stations of any regional secondary identifier, please call now, over.
Mike 0, Juliet Victor Zulu, Les from Leicester, and I'll be in and out.
Mike 0, November Alpha Sierra, Neil from Essex RAYNET, and I'm also in and out today.
G4NRC, so I've got Les, Mike 0, Juliet Victor Zulu, and Neil, Mike 0, November Alpha Sierra. Good afternoon to both of you. Copied is in and out. Any other Mike 0 stations of any regional secondary identifier, over? Nothing heard, so let's have Golf 0 stations of any regional secondary identifier, please call now, over.
Golf Whiskey 0, Juliet Lima X-Ray. Good afternoon, Greg. Name is Andy, RAYNET, Pembrokeshire. No traffic today, so in and out, please, over.
GW0JLX, G4NRC, good afternoon, Andy. You were missed last week. and copied you as in and out. Have any UK stations who've missed their turn to call in? Please call now, over.
Mike India 0, Mike Sierra Oscar, Philip Northern Ireland.
Mike India 0, Mike Sierra Oscar, G4 and RC. Good afternoon, Philip. Do we have any of our international colleagues with us today? Usually stations from Nord-Samband of Norway, Aran in Ireland, Aries in Slovakia, There's in the Netherlands even. Any of our international friends on talk groups today? G4 and RC, over.
Lima Alpha 6 India Mike, name is Hans, will be listening, but in and out time.
Lima Alpha 6 India Mike, copied, you're in and out, Hans. Then keep us, because I'm going to say, sorry, I will respond to your email later on tonight. For reasons that become apparent in a minute or so. Okay. Any stations now, UK or international, who've missed their turn to call in, please call now. G4 and RC, over. G4 and RC, nothing heard. Okay. Today's net is being live streamed by Graham G7NEH to YouTube today. Past live streams and recordings are available by searching G7NEH, that's Golf 7 November Echo Hotel, on YouTube. I have no news items this week, mostly because I got back from work on Friday night and got absolutely flattened by the latest book that's going around. So this is the first sitting up I've done for the weekend. So I'm going to make you all do the work this week and you give me the stuff to talk about. It's going to be enough of a challenge while I'm doing the logging. So, having explained the voice and the desire not to speak too much, we'll go to Mike, Golf 8, Echo Echo Yankee, G4 and RC, over.
G4 NRC from G8EY. I thought I heard a little something in your voice, Greg. Well, it might be nice and sunny in Norfolk, but with the North Sea breeze still coming in, we're only running around about 12 centigrade, so it's actually pretty chilly in the wind. Pressure's still quite high at 1026 millibars. Reasonably dry, 9% cloud cover. Say 11.5 miles per hour from 88 degrees wind. And just a reminder that Friday is a comm meeting night from G8 EEY.
G4 and RC, there was a reminder I didn't quite need. Okay, copied most of that, just missed the wind speed and direction. Typing is slower at the moment. Okay, thanks Mike, I'll have another attempt at doing some of my homework. Odds are, no, it's not odds are, I am definitely not in work tomorrow, so we shall see what transpires. Yeah, well, it has appeared sunny through the windows here. I don't think I want to go out and try it for what the temperature is like. I'll trust that to near neighbours and let them tell me. So, Graham, G7NEH, round to you, G4 and RC, over.
G4 NRC, G7NEH, good afternoon Greg, good afternoon to all on the net, and I hope my audio on the stream is a lot better today. I'm a bit closer to the microphone I'm using, and there we go. Last week's views on the net were 24 views and 2 likes, and I made the comment about the audio on the stream because Hans put a comment in that my audio was quite low, and I think I was being lazy last week and didn't move things around on the desk. So there we go. Not much to report this end, Greg. So if you could leave us out the next round, and I will catch you in the week, and hope the cold flu symptoms get better. G4NRC, G7NEH.
G7NEH, G4NRC returning. Okay, well, good. You got a feedback from Hans, so thanks for that. And yes, streaming audio out and keeping it synchronised is such a pain in the neck to try and do. So, easy option is to get the microphone to do it all for you, rather than trying to pipe it from some other bit of software delays. Okay, thanks, Graham. Thanks for running the stream. I'm hoping other people do the talking today, so it might be a short one. Trevor, G4KUJ, G4NRC, over.
G4NRC and the group G4KUJ. Good afternoon, Greg and everybody else. Sorry to hear you're under the weather. Certainly sound slightly off norm. What have I been doing this week? Mainly trying to sort out the HAP light on Arden to see if I can get to the bottom of which versions of software or firmware are good and which are not so good. So having tried both the latest version and the last October version, I think it is, my sort of feeling at the moment is that if you want a solid mesh, good legacy tunnels, and extremely dodgy WireGuard tunnel performance, go for the October version. If you want good tunnel performance with both legacy and WireGuard, go with the latest version, but don't bother with the mesh. And I think my advice, if I really wanted to make sure I've got a really reliable system on all modes at the moment, would be to go back to the AR300, which ran for many days without any problems. So I only hope that the development team get these problems sorted out for the HAP light for the next stable issue, Greg. G4NRC, G4KUJ.
G4KUJ, G4NRC returning. Okay, oh dear. I'm trying to remember, if you look by the version number on the dashboard, there is a grey on grey issues word. If you click on that, it'll take you to what is actually being worked on the commentary on it, just to see whether the issues are specifically HAP-light or microtic or just firmware in general. I think I pointed it out to you before, but it was recognised. That was where some of the issues were coming from. But I've not looked myself to see where we're up to recently for any changes. Okay, Philip, Golf 4 Kilo in the Lima, G4NRC, over.
G4NRC, G4KL. Thanks so much, Greg. Thanks for joining that today. So last week I mentioned that we had both a little exercise on our Monday night FM net, trying to go cross-county. We set it up a demonstration going right across the country, which is interesting for us, of course, with the South Downs in the way. Pros and cons, of course, with the Downs. The pros are you can get, by going to the top of the hills, you can get antennas nice and high. The cons are that if you're not going up the hill, you can get blocked from one side to the other. So we did it once before, back in June last year, a demonstration for the local resilience forum, and they were suitably impressed with somebody on a handheld in their meeting, talking to somebody on a handheld in Chichester, which is some way away, on the other side of the hills and so on. We thought we would rerun the exercise again, with a slight twist of seeing if we could actually run the control station from a station on the south coast at Shoreham. All went very well, and so we were very pleased with that. Running two repeaters, so using two of our MD call signs. Albeit I think both were running 5 watts both ways, and the so well, interesting question then. Does that mean we needed an MP call sign or not? Because I think that allows us to go for higher power. I think that was the point of it. Or is the point that you need the call sign if you're not just using it for your own personal use, you are letting other ones go through? Which leads me into a question, which I've been hesitant to ask the question in case somebody says, "Oh no, you can't do that." Which is something I've been doing for quite a while, which is because of the sound thing in the way. We don't generally have a repeater up on the top of the hill. Some of the folk who are a bit further away can't get in on the FM net, so by quite a while now I've been setting up a Teams meeting from my laptop in the car, and allowing other stations to come in where I just hold the microphone of my radio against the speaker of the laptop for them to transmit through. Now, is that actually a repeater, and should it use a call sign? I mean, I think I doubt if somebody's going to say that's completely a no-no. Under no circumstances could you do that, because it sounds to me very similar to things like Echolink and so on. So I imagine it's okay. But I'd be interested on that one, whether it should be using a repeater call sign if I'm doing that. I mean, by similar nature, I actually, if anybody was listening on this net on a Monday evening from about 8:15. My time out there, apologies for that, I've been waffling a long time. Anybody who's listening, they'll hear me say I'm intending to relay this DMR channel to our FM net if any of our South Sussex stations come on. Again, I'm doing that by holding the handheld near the microphone of the radio. I have done it using crossband on the Anytone, but it's actually simpler just to do it this way. So interesting comments on that. And the only other comment would be I do expect to be on Monday on the HF net, albeit I will have to go about 8:25 in order to take part in the FM net. The only proviso would be if I short of time and can't get the antennas up in time, I might not make it, but I would expect to. Back to you then, G4NRC, G4KL.
G4NRC returning. Okay. You'll be on the HF net tomorrow. I am honestly not sure if I will be or not. Depends how the situation here. But NRC coming back again. That wasn't for a cough, honestly. You mentioned personal use. I forget personal use. The license doesn't have that in there anymore. You run repeaters, or you run gateways, or you run digital stations. So, holding your microphone next to a laptop, you could call it a gateway. Honestly, I would say go and have a look at your license and see if it's any clearer to you than it is to me. If you're not running 5 watts out, but you're running higher than that, then it probably does straight into MV9 territory. But I would have to wobble my head and have a deep think about that one. But you're right, it's a very easy way of linking stations together for doing that. So it's what the intent is, I suspect, would be the question, to get a better answer to your question. If you're using it to link things together, then let's call it a repeater if it works better that way around. and don't even start me on remote operation. Right, I'm sure there'll be more on that on the next round. Ian, Golf 30 Hotel X-Ray, G4NRC, over.
G4NRC in the group, G3ZHX, afternoon all. I'm watching the streaming from G7NEH, and it's currently running about a minute and a quarter slow. I'm curious to know, my TV dropped out just as he came on, and I'm wondering whether it's between me and the internet, or it's something going on at your end, his end, I should say. But that's by the by. I don't really have anything to add, and I shall unfortunately not relieve you of much of the talking. So I'm going to go back to listening and wait for the next time round, see if I've got anything else to say. G3ZHX.
G3ZHX, G4NRC. So the delays could be at any point through that chain, and you even get differences between different units on the same network. So I saw an interesting little application for outside broadcast units for streaming, which was a rotating QR code which would allow the vision and sound from a particular camera to be synchronized back into the master control. So it would know what time it was when the image was sent, and it would then put an appropriate delay on to make. G4NRC, oh there we go, I can't access my own network again. Okay, we seem to be having a couple of server issues, that's the second time I've been thrown out. Yeah, the QR codes allow each camera to be synchronized back into the master control, so it puts the appropriate level of delay in. And I know this kind of works because I see again, there we go. So see the basketball games, and I see several seconds delay between the game I'm watching and what I see thrown back at me on the commentator screens, which I overlook. Right, let's pass it to Colin. 2 Echo 0 Charlie Mike Sierra. See what news he's got for us. G4NRC, over.
To the 0 CNS. Yeah, I'm seeing about a 2 to 3 second delay on the live stream over YouTube. Got it currently running on the TV screen. So this week's been very interesting. We've been out again playing with the local resilience forum. We're doing a presentation training event at Tunbridge and Malling Borough Council offices this week for the local parish councils to do with building resilient communications. So we were invited along, obviously to Starlink, voice over internet phones and stuff as well. Set the Starlink up with a little power bank that was being backed up by a solar panel, so that was just sitting on its own doing its thing. And the weather was quite nice, so we kept the battery fully charged. Strangely enough, the emergency planning teams couldn't log on to the local borough council's Wi-Fi. The mobile signal is horrendous in the area, so they've got no internet on their phones. So they couldn't receive the one-time passcode to log on to the council's Wi-Fi. So I gave them the Starlink password, and I think there was 35 people all using that all at once.
and it all seemed to go quite well. Also demonstrated DMR radio. We also had the drones on display. In fact, the emergency planner from Cambridge and Morley asked me to do a quick survey of the roof, and fortunately I'd already done a flight plan, because we were hoping to have a quick look at the antenna installation without getting up on the roof. So that all worked quite well. So all in all, good week. It was a good networking chance, and so there was a lot of people there that discovered a bit more about what we can do. G4NRC 2E0 CMS.
Echo 0 Charlie Mike Sierra G4NRC. Okay, what you say sounds like a good networking and demo opportunity. Mentioning drones reminded me that I got my usual very short notice from the CAA to renew my drone ID. They say you can renew it a month in advance, but I swear it was only a week that they seemed to give me before it was time to get a new one on. But also thanks for the note that only 2 to 3 seconds delay on your viewing of the stream. To be fair to everybody, by the time you've encoded, shoved it through YouTube, and then had it transcoded into all sorts of differing resolutions to be watched, anything less than 2 to 3 seconds I'd worry was starting to break physics. So that works well. Also interested in the Starlink surviving nicely off the power bank, given what I've seen sometimes with Starlink being a bit power heavy on certain van life channels for what they do. So you've proved it can be done, so I'm wondering what they're doing wrong. Right, Philip is the last one on this turn. Mike India 0, Mike Sierra Oscar, G4NRC, over.
G4NRC, NI0MSO. Good afternoon, Greg, everybody else in the net, from a very tired, very busy yesterday, setting up for a major event today. I just finished the major event about 3:30 on the half marathon. 3,500 runners doing that, and 1,000 doing the 5K fun run. Oh God, I'm glad it's over. One of our major events every year, so we deployed the UHF talk through, and we had a VHF DMR repeater going, and for the first time this year we used two PAJ GPS trackers, one on the lead vehicle and one this week, which worked out very, very well. Beautiful weather and everything went well, so not much more to report on that. That's a while before our next event. Just listening to Trevor G4KUJ about the mesh and legacy tunnels and all that. I got an email in the week I haven't acted on it to say that the legacy tunnels are not supported anymore, so we need to migrate to WireGuard, and they give me a WireGuard server link to migrate to. Haven't done that yet. But looking at my Hoplite, I'm on version 3.25.2.0, which I had a manually update to some time ago, because before that I couldn't get WireGuard to work at all, so I may try the WireGuard link sometime this week. And I've contacted the developers about running a supernode in Ireland, but waiting on an update on the software for the unit that's needed for that, so they may have that done. But that's all the report from here for now. Great, back to you.
Mike Sierra Oscar G4NRC returning. Okay, I knew they wanted to migrate to WireGuard. I think that could be a backward step in some areas, certainly because it enforces encryption. That's the word I'm looking for. Whereas the legacy tunnels, I didn't think did that, which made it easier for NPR70 if you needed to have a couple of Arden puddles that needed linking together. You could do that using a legacy tunnel and not trip over the encryption problems in some countries. And as Trevor said, WireGuard we've found between us, even on new firmware on some kit, it's just not playing nicely at all. So we will see what comes out from that. Anyway, well done on the half marathon. Chester half marathon comes up next month. We've got 5,000, I think, waiting for that one. Sometimes more. They do surprise us with the extra people they seem to find from time to time. Okay, back to the top of the list for finals. Golf 8 Echo Echo Yankee G4 and RC, over.
G4 NRC from G8EY. It's all interesting stuff. Certainly in the broadcasting world, when you go from analog to any level of digital, usually puts 1 second delay in. Every time you go from one system to another, you've got transcoders, and they all have at least 1 to 2 seconds, so you can actually end up with anything up to about 10-second error. And I noticed that, even streaming on YouTube, you can find that's probably only up to about 4 or 5 seconds. It's all very slow. And of course, the minute you put encryption in, it gets a lot longer, and the overheads go up. But otherwise, thanks for running the net, Greg, and I hope you feel better by Friday evening. So, G8EY.
8 Echo Echo Yankee G4 and RC Com. Might appreciate it if I'm not in full voice, you never know. Okay, thanks Mike, see you Friday. And Trevor, G4KUJ, G4 and RC, over.
G4 and RC, G4KUJ. Yeah, fine, all stations. Okay, I'm having a look to see what the issues are by hovering over the issue, the version thing, and found that one yet. And if the current light stays stable for another day, I'll pin you a legacy and a WireGuard link to see, and you can try both from your end. And noted the comments you made, Philip. I can certainly see your station. I've got a link to Drew's supernode in Bideford, and I see he's got one straight up to you, and I can just ping you without any problems at all. So that's good. Back to you, Greg. Hope you feel better soon, and take care. G4NRC, G4KUJ.
For KUJ, G4NRC, thanks Trevor. Yeah, maybe just ping me links for a WireGuard tunnel and we'll just see how it plays if we're only running one system. Nothing to prove it doesn't work than only having one to fail rather than wondering which of them it is between the pair. Okay, thanks. And next to Philip, G4KIL, G4NRC, over.
P4RCG for care. Yeah, that's all. Thanks very much for the comments. As usual, very, very helpful, and give me a good steer. And certainly, I'll have to go and have a good look at the license again, see what we can make out of it. But it does certainly sounds like that. That's helpful, and it gives me a steer as to what to do. Very good. Well, as I say, I hope you're feeling better soon. If you do manage to make it up on this coming Monday, hopefully speak to you then. Otherwise, hopefully throughout the Mondays. Through this month, of course, I forget what we've got to now. Yeah, it'll be 8 o'clock this Monday, 8 o'clock the following Monday, and then it will be 2 o'clock in the afternoon the one after that, which will be the bank holiday, and then 8 o'clock again for the last one of the month. I think I got that right. Hopefully be up for all of them, as I will be having to leave a bit early probably. Very good, I'll leave it at that, and say 73s, hope to speak again next week on this net, if not before. G4NRC, G4KL.
G4KIL, G4NRC. Yeah, I forgot there is also a gateway station, I think, in that license list. It was very muddy with Ofcom about what the definitions were, and we didn't want them to be too tight in some areas. So read license, and if in doubt, come back again, preferably on an email when I'm not bubbling my head, and I'll come up with a better answer for you. Okay, Ian, Golf 3 Zulu Hotel X-Ray, G4NRC, over.
G4NRC, G3Z8X. Yes, disregard everything I said last time round. It turned out it was the TV had got behind on the stream. I didn't realise that you could actually pause streaming. I thought live streaming was live, but there you go. That's the wonders of YouTube for you. So with that, I shall say thank you for running the net, and hope you feel better very soon. From G3Z8X.
G3Z8X, G4NRC returning. Ah, well, at least that was a nice, easy explanation for it, rather than the vagaries of the internet, Ian. Not a problem. Okay, see you next week. Hopefully, better of voice. And Colin, don't think I had anything further to add on yours. 2 Echo Zero, Charlie Mike Sierra, G4NRC, over.
Yeah, from 2E0 CMS. Just a quick word on the sort of drone, sort of flyer ID and CAA renewals. I recently changed to FPVUK.org, logged on as membership there, and saved myself a hell of a lot of money on drone insurance, because I was paying about £450 with another commercial company, which I won't say over the air. But when you join FPV UK, for £24.99, you can get £5 million public liability insurance, which covers commercial use as well. And for another £10 of a year, they can also automatically renew your CAA renewals as well. So definitely worth doing. It saved me a lot of money. So I recommend that. That's fpvuk.org. Anyway, hope you're feeling better soon. Thanks for running the net. G4NRC 2E0 CMS.
To Echo Zero, Charlie Mike Sierra, G4NRC. Yeah, I'd seen them. They frequently pop up on my Facebook feed, annoyingly more often than some of the things I want to see. So I knew they did the cheap insurance, wasn't aware of them doing the renewals for permits as well, though. I've got to say, back to the insurance, more of an active guard for me to actually fly my drone from time to time. So it is currently not insured on the basis that it's never going to go much further than my back garden at this rate. But okay, noted that one. If I get more time, I will look at swapping over to that if I go over to having more drone time. Okay, thanks Colin. And Philip, you get to round the net off today. Mike India 0, Mike Sierra Oscar, G4NRC, over.
G4NRC, I'm going to have to check the settings of this repeater. It seems to time out every 10 minutes. I have to, 10 or 12 minutes, I have to ping it again. So, nothing more to add, Craig, so thank you for running the net. And next weekend, they're both at the IRTS AGM weekend and giving a presentation on RAYNET at it. So we may not be in the news next week.
India 0, Mike Sierra Oscar, G for NRC. Okay, well, enjoy that. I did enjoy my my own stint at the IRTS AGM weekend, albeit it was slightly more fraught than I intended to have because it was the Nepal earthquake at the time. So I was trying to sort things out for that at the same time as doing a presentation which had to change to being even more topical about international emergency comms. Okay, right, we shall draw it to a close. Having now convinced myself I won't be going to work tomorrow, I'll thank everybody for taking time out of their busy schedules to participate in this afternoon's net. Be careful, have a good week, and until next Sunday afternoon at 1600 hours local time, I've closed the RAYNET UK weekly activity net on talk groups 23531 on Pheonix and Brandmeister and 50T3531 on the RAYNET UK system, and return the talk groups to an open net rather than a directed net. 730, this is G4NRC now closing, converting to my normal call sign of Golf 0, Delta Uniform Bravo. Bye bye.